Hey, get down from there. That's not a toy. The mechanic's shout cracked across the cavernous hangar as toolboxes rattled and heads whipped around. In the middle of the hangar, perched on the wing of a fighter jet, was a young woman in grease-stained coveralls, her hair tied in a messy bun, her face quivering with a mix of fear and defiance. Her boot hovered near the throttle. "I'm not going to hurt it," she whispered, mostly to herself. It was too late. The shrill wail of sirens began outside the hangar doors, and within moments a crowd formed around the fences. Curious glances turned to scorn as mechanics lowered their tools and security sprinted in. Whispers lanced through the air. "Who even is that? Janitor? Cleaner? She doesn't belong near that cockpit." Voices ratcheted into insults. "Probably wants a selfie. She'll wreck it. She doesn't know what she's doing." But inside the cockpit, she didn't hear them at all. Her eyes were locked on the instrument panel. Her fingers danced over the switches with a familiarity that betrayed her words. She had done this before, countless times. Her name was Mila Torres. 5 years ago, she soared, top of her class at flight school, youngest officer at her squadron's tarmac, the only woman in her unit, the one they said had sky in her bloodstream. Then came the crash, a mid-air failure, a violent tumble through the clouds. She survived, but barely. The military grounded her with whispered concerns about PTSD. They stripped her wings quietly, no ceremony, no fanfare, and discharged her. She returned home, her dreams drifting away like contrails across the sky. With no other option, she took a job sweeping floors and emptying trash in the very hangars that once belonged to her world. The same jets she maintained and cleaned, she watched from afar. She heard their engines, but never felt the vibration through her bones again. Until today. Somehow, when the jet sat unattended with its cockpit open, something inside her snapped. Not recklessness, something deeper, a need. She needed to prove it to herself first, that she could still fly, that she still was flight. No one expected it. Maybe that was her point. As she flipped switches, a ground crew tried cutting power. Tools dropped. A mechanic lunged forward. "Stop her!" he screamed. "Shut it down now!" But before he could reach the ladder, the afterburners lit up, glowing a fierce orange inside. Then she was off. Security turned too late. She roared down the runway like thunder borne on metal wings. Inside the control tower, stunned silence. Then her voice crackled over the radio, calm and precise. "This is Sierra 29 requesting altitude clearance." The commander's eyebrows shot up. "Identify yourself." "Mila Torres, former lieutenant, solo clearance flight 12 minutes, will return clean." "Torres?" he muttered. "She's grounded." He watched as the jet peeled into a perfect vertical climb. "No way," whispered an airman next to him. "That's advanced maneuvering." "That's her." Up above, she sliced through the sky. Loops, rolls, a symphony of flight she conducted in silence. Below, spectators gasped and began filming. Veterans standing at attention, some saluting, some rubbing their eyes, some simply in awe. In the hangar, the same mechanic who yelled at her earlier stared up in disbelief. "She's not cleaning jets. She was born for them." The crowd by the fence thickened, but none rushed in. They stood rooted in place, mesmerized by the silent truth being spoken in jet contrails. When the flying ended, Mila guided the jet back down in a flawless landing, a whisper of wings touching tarmac. The engines cut. Dust settled. Security rushed over, cuffing gloves ready, expecting defiance, but instead she climbed down, hands clasped before her. No dramatic exit, no meltdown, only quiet resolve. Before the cuffs clicked, the base commander strode forward. His face was stern, but his eyes held what collective amazement felt like. "That was unauthorized, Lieutenant Torres. You know what you did." She looked up, nodded. "Yes, sir." "And?" he asked. She inhaled, steady. "And flawless." The crowd behind him murmured agreement. A junior pilot emerged from the group, eyes shining. "Ma'am, would you train us?" There was no deceit in his voice, only hope. "Train you," she echoed. He swallowed. "We've never seen flying like that. Not even from our instructors." A hush, then a swell. Because what Mila did with her next words changed the arc of the story. "Yes, I will." She turned to face the crowd, her coveralls smeared but her posture unbowed. But only if you're ready to listen. Not just to what I do, but why. They didn't reinstate her wings immediately, but doors cracked open that were once welded shut. They offered her a position, tactical flight instructor, not as pity, but as proof. From janitor to legend, she stepped forward. When her boots hit the hangar floor afterward, nobody turned away. Instead, they watched, respected, and waited for what she'd do next. Sometimes reclaiming your wings doesn't mean asking permission. It means taking off when they least expect it. If this story touched you, subscribe the channel and hit that like button and drop a karma in the comments below.